to the 5 a.m. Club with Big Homie Smuda. Grootmanleno Sonchebe. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. It's a brand new day. Some of you guys are already in your cars going to work. Some of you guys in the summer Texini. Some of you guys are watching this video at a different time. What is this episode about? We are on episode number 10. 5 books that will change the way you think about money. I believe the topic of money is a very important one. I think that's the reason why a lot of us as black people are where we are. Yes, obviously we've got a lot of issues to deal with that came with apartheid, etc. But if there's anything that us as black people should be knowing and understanding right now and acquiring knowledge of is money. Because not a lot of schools or the educational system is not interested in teaching us about money. Some people might say, yeah, no, I'm doing business accounting, I'm doing business management, or I'm doing accounting. That's really teaching you to sort of abide to the rules and regulations and adhering to the laws that have already been created to just continue perpetuating the system so you're able to manage other people's monies. They're basically not teaching you or equipping you with enough knowledge to be wealthy or to create generational wealth for yourself. That's why from time to time one would take out their phone, record videos, share knowledge about how you guys can create generational wealth. And I think I'm one of those people that has been in action and basically changing how we think about money. I've been promoting Mofire over the years. I'm sharing about my branding practices, marketing. I've been very vocal about our ownership as black people, creating our own businesses, keeping the money circulating around our economy, comparing us to other races, of course, etc. So I've really played a big role as far as that is concerned over the past couple of years, because I've seen the amount of mistakes that I've made myself. And some of my own tax issues have been out there in the public, some of the mistakes that I've made in the past myself. And I've always used myself as a teachable experience to newer and younger generations as far as not having to repeat the same type of mistakes that we have made. So that's what inspired basically this video, to be like, okay, cool. On episode number 10, let me just step it up a little bit now. We've done a lot of episodes. I focus more on wisdom, focus more on encouraging, motivation. But there's going to be a lot of episodes where I'm going to do a bit of my research, so I think I can share with you guys knowledge that I think will empower you. So 5 books. Let's start with the first one, The Psychology of Money. That's the list that I've put up. The first book is, The Psychology of Money. Now, this book basically explains how money works in the real world and how it affects our daily lives. It's extremely important for us to understand how money affects us. You might just think, no, man, I'm not like that rich, or man, it affects you. Or you might just think, no, I've got 10 grand and 10 grand is 10 grand. 10 grand is not 10 grand like it was 10 grand before COVID-19. There's interest rate hikes that have just been announced a couple of months ago, a couple of weeks ago. And as you keep on keeping your money in the bank, your money keeps on depreciating in value every year. So it's extremely imperative and important for you to understand how money operates. So anyways, in this book, they're saying over 2 million copies of this book has been sold. The Psychology of Money, Timeless Lessons on Wealth, Greed, and Happiness. It's a book by Morgan Housel, and they're saying it's one of the best, most original finance books in years, by a guy from Wall Street Journal, Jason Zweig. So I'd like to encourage you guys to go check that one out. It's a book that I recommend. I have not finished the book, but I've read a couple of chapters in the book. And the second book that I compiled in this list is The Richest Man in Babylon. It is a series of parables set in the ancient Babylon concerning financial wisdom. The Richest Man in Babylon, this is the original edition that I'd like to recommend for you. It's a book by George S. Clason. Book number 3, The Millionaire Next Door. What is it about? It shows how everyday millionaires acquire wealth and achieve financial success by revealing their habits, their behaviors, and their mindsets as well. It is a surprising secret of America's wealthy, with a new preface for the 21st century. It's a book that has been around for quite some time, but it's a book that I'd like to recommend even now, because it's one of those books that will forever be relevant. It's like the Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's like about Think and Grow Rich. It's like about the monk that sold, his Ferrari. It's those books that will forever be relevant. Book number 4, Your Money or Your Life. A 9-step guide to taking control of your finances so you can enjoy your life rather than making a living. Your Money or Your Life is 9 steps to transforming your relationship with money and achieving financial independence. It has been fully revised as well. It's one of those books that will forever be relevant, and it'll teach you a lot about money and how money is evolving lately. So it's important for you guys to read these books, understand the psychology of money, just money, how money operates, and just on a global sphere, so that as these things keep evolving, and there's like the blockchain technologies, and right now we getting introduced into the CBDCs, it's extremely imperative and important for you to just understand the history of money and how money operates. Your Money or Your Life is a book by Vicky Robin and Joe Dominguez. The 5th book that I'd like to recommend for you, Bantwana Basekhaya, is The Millionaire Fast Lane. The Millionaire Fast Lane reveals the quickest path to wealth in order to retire early and actually enjoy the benefits of financial freedom while you are still young. The book has been around since, I think, the early 2000s or the late 2000s or so. It is an international personal finance bestseller, and it cracks the code to wealth and living rich for a lifetime. It's a book by MJ DeMarco. And these are some of the books that I thought, let me just compile a list so I can share with some of you guys who've been asking me, like, please just give us some book recommendations sometimes. Because, we want to know some of the books that you are reading, or some of the books that you think, books that you can recommend for us, because you used to do that during the lockdown. Why did you stop that? I didn't really stop it, but, a lot of us did a lot of things online. The type of content we were creating when we were still locked down evolves. And I've evolved into, podcasting on my phone, creating content, sharing it out there, motivational, inspirational type of content, doing more interviews, focusing on growing the Hustlers Corner podcast. So I've just been on that journey, and I've been evolving. So I kind of felt, let me just compile these 5 books. And in just wrapping it up, that list once again, ladies and gentlemen: The Psychology of Money, The Richest Man in Babylon, The Millionaire Next Door, Your Money or Your Life, and The Millionaire Fast Lane. I hope you enjoy these books. They're going to change your life. Trust me, they will change your life. I have not finished all of them, but the reason why I'm recommending them is because they've just blown me away. Some of the ones that I've finished, and some of the knowledge that I've attained from some of these books are is what actually inspires me to keep on writing the books that I keep writing. I've just finished my 4th book now, which is going to be out in September, October, towards the end of this year. And and a lot of African scholars teach us that because of the African New Year being on the 23rd of September, when everything starts blooming, when flowers start blooming, when things that are new start blooming around that time, September, October, it's the perfect time to launch anything as an African child. So, and then I start understanding, that's why beginning of spring, manzi, see, bonama bloom, they start blooming, they start, getting a bit colorful, things start becoming green, and, coming from the entertainment industry, it'll be around that time that we'll release our summer albums. We'll be releasing our music albums, our house albums, and I'm also seeing the new generation releasing the Amapiano albums. But if you're a creative, or if you're a creator of anything, or you're a birth of anything, birth things around September, October, the most perfect time to launch anything new. So I'm quite excited to be launching my upcoming brand new album after many years of me not releasing music. I'd call it a rebirth of me. I believe I was born for a purpose. I always tell people that I'm blessed to become a blessing. Ngiyisibusiso emphakathini. Ngiyisibusiso ebantwini engisebenze nabo. Ngiyisibusiso ebantwini abangilandelayo. Ngiyisibusiso ezweni. And I kind of believe that's what my purpose is. That's the purpose that I was born for. What is your purpose? Seek out and discover what your purpose is, and live according to what your God brought you on earth for. He brought us on earth to procreate. He brought us on earth to nurture our offsprings and grow them and instill good principles and values in them. But the most important thing, as you're living this life, you didn't just was born to become a 5Ws, to just exist. Wazalwa, waphila, wavela, wadla, wafa. You just existed. You didn't impact the world. You gotta impact the world. Create some sort of a dent in this world. Create some sort of an impact in this world. Impact some lives. Change things. Create things, leave a legacy of things that are going to exist forever. And for me, that is my purpose, being a blessing unto this generation. or my generation or your generation or our children's generation. I'm here to impact many lives, and that is my purpose. I was born for a purpose. So around September, October, I'm quite excited. Brand new book coming up, brand new album coming up, and there's a lot of things that I'm revealing in my upcoming brand new book. My 3 other bestsellers have done really well out there. You guys have supported the books, but I also keep on bumping on a lot of people that keep saying, you've changed our lives. I've read your first book, I've read your second book, I've read your third book, just how you simplify business, using yourself as a case study. You've changed how I look at things, how I look at life. Now I'm older, now I'm running my own law practice, or now I'm running my own law firm, or now I'm now a doctor, or now I'm a graduate, or I run my own business. And it's always fulfilling to meet people that you've impacted somehow. A lot of you guys, I might not have met you in person, but with the work that I've done, I've impacted you from a distance. So right now, these are the 5 books that I'd like to recommend. Go read up on them, understand more about these books, understand about the psychology of money. And a lot of times people say, yeah, but money is overrated. If money was overrated, you wouldn't be stressing so much to be paying your bills at the end of every month. If money was overrated, everybody would be living okay. We wouldn't even care about money. I know there's more important things than money, but you got to understand money. And these are some of the books that have inspired me to write my books and simplify the information and share it with the public, because I understand and I believe in generational wealth, so that we don't leave these kids of ours with debt. You know, abantu amafamily wethu alwa because we didn't write a will, we didn't form trusts, we didn't come up with ways to use my life cover and my trust, etc., to transfer the generational wealth. It's one thing to work hard and create this wealth, but how do you pass it on to the next generation? So that's when it brings me to encourage you guys to go consult estate planners. Understand how to pass on generational wealth. The other day I was doing a video and I was saying to some of you guys who are on social media so much, not even some of you, all of you, start including your social media platforms on your will. Your social media platforms are now an asset. Rob Mali, who's Robbie Malinga's son, my brother Robbie Malunga, may your soul rest in peace, Grootman. We did some great works together. But what I loved was after Robbie passed on, I saw Rob Mali take over his father's social media platform. He didn't have to start from zero, from scratch. He already had a leg up from 100,000 followers. And then he can use that social media to sell products. He can use that social media platform to sell himself out there as a brand. He can use that social media platform to speed up his success for whatever he's pursuing in his life. So that's why I'm encouraging all of you guys, when you're doing or when you're updating your wills with your estate planners, start including your social media platforms on your wills and start finding out ways on how to use that life cover and wills and trusts to pass on generational wealth, so we don't leave a mess behind where families are fighting, where now your wife or your husband that you're leaving behind, the family members must come bazomlwisa, hey phela imali kabhuti wethu le ke tšhelete uncle ya rona, hey wena vele na unyalela for, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to leave all of that mess. So you want to be as organized as possible. And these are some of the books that I'm recommending. They don't only just talk about money, they don't only talk about money, but they talk about these type of things that I'm sharing right now. So that is a very important point with this last point that I'm emphasizing right now, focusing on putting your social media platforms on your will. Why? Because your social media has become an asset. We are living in 2023. We're living in 2024, 2025. The world has changed. It is a digital world that we're in. Wherever you walk, you see people are like this. Wherever you walk in, whether it's a restaurant or anywhere, people are like this, they're on their phones. It shows you it's an asset. And I read you guys an article the other day and I said, South Africa has become the #1 country where people stay on the internet the longest than any other country. Let me actually Google that article and read it for you guys. The article says, and I wanna be factual. So it's on Business Tech, by the way, businesstech.co.za. Let me say South Africans stay the longest on the internet. I've done a video like this. For some of you guys who have not seen that video, I have to emphasize it so that you understand how important it is that all of your clients are now online. The importance of the internet, the importance of your social media platforms. Go to also technext24.com. If you've ever wondered which country spends the most time browsing the internet, then that answer is South Africa. According to data published by the by the American Virtual Private Network VPN platform Atlas. South Africans are the most internet addicted persons in the world, spending an average of 578 minutes, which is 9 hours 38 minutes, almost 10 hours online daily. That was just last year. These are stats from 2022. 3 hours more than the global average. Can you imagine? That's where we are. So when you go internet, that's why we are creating content daily, because we understand everybody is now online. So take advantage of this internet thing, grow those social media platforms on behalf of your kids, and start including all of your social media platforms and your passwords with your will, so that when you die, at least they don't only pass on the wealth, or they don't only pass on the cars and the houses and the clothes and all those type of things, but at least you know, Uguti, you know who must get your social media platforms, so that you empower your child to not start from zero. They don't have to start from scratch. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I'll see you tomorrow on episode 11. We drop episodes every day right here on the 5 a.m. Club on the DJ Smooth YouTube platform. Dango!